Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Mokshadam Cheva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Sabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkarana Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva achalane anupama gati pamel sarve siddhane vandikaho sutta kevali bhasita asamaya prabhrata are eka suddha sada arupi jnana darshanamay khare kai anyate maru jari paramanu matra nathi are जम नेत्र ते मज ज्ञान नथि कारक नथि वेदक अरे जाने जकर मोदय निर्जरा बंदते मज मोक्षणे ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम श्री शुद्धात्माने नमः जय जिनेन्द्र. Today is April 11, 2018, Wednesday, and we are continuing our discussion on Samaysar stanza 13. Samaysar stanza 13, basically it says that anybody who knows the 9 reals, 9 tattva, in an absolute way, in a bhutarth way, in a right way, that means it's called Samyak Darshan. It's called right faith. So, I know the 9 names. You mean knowing the 9 names alone means Samyak Darshan? And it says no, because to start with, one has to know the 9 reals in the true form. Once we know the 9 reals in true form, then one has to go beyond that 9 reals and find out that the eternal soul substance hidden within those 9 reals, one has to put the faith there, and that is called Samyak Darshan. So that's what we are talking for last few weeks. So we'll continue our things, and I'll bring the slide, and then we'll just go through that. So last week we talked about this slide. Let me just bring it. We brought this slide, that exactly what happens when a mode is generated. And again, because we are interested in the soul, so we are just making soul's mode, means what happens exactly when the mode is getting generated. So soul is a substance and can have possibly 2 things. It can happen. It can be the innate state, or it could be deluding state mode. So soul by itself, without any interference or help from any other substance of the universe, by itself decides that he wants to be in the innate state or in the deluding state. And unfortunately, for us, the mundane soul who are in the wrong faith state, since time infinite, me as a soul is making this deluding state mode all the time, since time infinite. Now, when the deluding mode occurs, exactly what happens, that on the other side, there is evidence of a karma fruition, and karma fruition is there. Deluding mode looks at the karma fruition, and when the deluding mode is there, then the new karma in the form of bondage of new karma also will be working in the sync. So two reactions are occurring at the same time. Deluding mode with fruition of karma. That's a reaction number one. There is a fruition of karma here and there is a deluding mode here. They both have principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. Then the another reaction is deluding state and the bondage of new karma. There is a generic carbon particles. They are present in the universe, and some of those particles are supposed to be the karma form, specific karma form, and so they are looking for some deluding state of the soul. So deluding state of the soul provides that energy, and so this generic carbon particle gets converted to bondage of new karma, and they come and stay with the they stay in the same space point as a soul. So this kind of reaction keeps on going all the time. The deluding state occurs. On the other side, there's a fruition of karma independently. And while that is occurring, there is bondage of new karma occurs. And this cycle keeps on repeating again and again. Bondage of new karma goes in dormancy over here. And then in the ultimately, they'll come as a fruition of old karma. Then same thing will happen. So this kind of circle keeps on going and going. That's why the soul keeps on wandering in the transmigration since time infinite. Now, here what happens? This unit, soul substance in deluding state, is a one unit. What is happening there? Soul's deluding mode in its own eligibility in the form of a deluding state. This soul has infinite modes from before and after. As we said, these are nothing kind of a new thing. It's just like that you're sitting on a beach, and a wave comes and breaks and goes back into ocean. Another wave comes, breaks, goes back into ocean. Big wave comes, breaks, goes. No two waves are exactly same. Similarly, no two modes are exactly same. They keep on coming, and then they get they go back into the soul. Keep on coming, going back into the soul. Just like the gold I have, I made the ring. It's a one mode. I didn't like the ring, so ring was broken down. It went back into the gold. Then from the gold, chain occurred. And then the chain occurred. That's another mode. And so it didn't like it, so it just went down to the gold. So the mode means modification of the substance. So here, the soul substance has deluding state mode, and that mode is there to come at that particular time. It is sitting in the soul substance, and when the time comes, appropriate time comes, then that mode gets generated. Till then, that mode remains into the soul. It remains as an independent. It has no relationship with anybody else, and because it has no relationship, it is called parinamic bhav, or it's called its innate state. The mode's innate state. Now, so now this mode is generated, means it was eligible to come at that particular time. When we took 10 samays, on 5th samay, that particular mode was supposed to come in the form of wrong faith, for example. So it did get generated that way. Let's say number sixth mode, for example. That mode was supposed to be in the right faith mode. So it will come as a right faith mode. It was sitting in the soul substance all the time. And when the time came, fifth mode was a wrong faith, sixth mode is a right faith. Those things do occur because it was its own eligibility. It was its own eligibility. So this mode occurring as a deluding state is its own eligibility. That word eligibility is very important. Vikar thava yogya, paryay gat yogyata. Vikar thava yogya means eligibility to be in the deluded state. That's it. Now, at the same time, this fruition of old karma here, they are acting as an instrumental cause. They are acting as an instrumental cause. This is a primary thing. This mode arising is called primary event. But this guy's presence is called instrumental cause. I am in this room. It is dark. The light is an instrumental cause for me. Light was there 24 hours, but I was not here, so light did not become instrumental cause to anybody. But when I entered, it was night time, and so the light became instrumental cause for me. Light did its own work. Light did not do anything to me. Light simply gave the light and removed the darkness. That was only its job. Same way, fruition of karma came independently of its own. And it has no relationship over here. And what it is called vikar karna. Now, what happens here? Doer of the deluding state. Now, wait a second. This guy, this oblong area, it is a deluding state. That was the eligibility. And because this guy is simply present at that time, it's been accused that because of you, the reaction occurred. He's been falsely accused. So he's been said, you are the one you are the doer of the deluding state. Because what is happening? This mode, when it's independent, when it is hidden into the soul, in the soul substance, there is no relationship, there is no sapekshta. When there is no sapekshta, means relationship is not there. That means it was without any relationship, it was independent. So it did not do anything. It has eligibility simply, that's it. But when the fruition of old karma is present, then the actual reaction occurs, and now I am seeing me as a soul in a deluding form. I am seen in a deluding. I am angry. Means that anger mode was supposed to happen. It is already there in the soul substance since time infinite. There is no fruition of karma, nothing happening. So it is remaining quiet. When the number 5 mode arising, for example, and at that time fruition of karma is also standing there, then fruition of karma is labeled, is accused that you are the doer of the mode, and this guy is called eligibility, eligible. You are the eligible and you are the doer. And because of both the things combined together, the anger was seen. Just like the way fish is swimming in the water. And what we are saying, water makes fish to swim. We falsely accuse water. We falsely accuse water that because of you, fish is able to swim. No, fish has its own activity, own capacity to swim, and water is simply a vehicle. Water is simply an instrumental cause. Same water If that is the reason for swimming of the fish, same water and rock is thrown and rock sinks, because rock has an eligibility to sink and water provides vehicle for that. So here it's same thing. Fruition of karma is falsely accused that you are the doer. You are the doer. So that kind of a language is being used in this 13th stanza. And so these two things are entirely separate, as we talked about. Um, this both the things, fruition of karma and deluding state, they have principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, nimit, nimitic sambandh. This guy is a principal cause, this guy is auxiliary cause, and combined together, now you are seeing the expression of that deluding state mode. Until now, that mode was inexpressed because it was sitting independently in the soul substance for time infinite. When it came out, and now there is a fruition of karma present, both the things combined together, principal auxiliary cause relationship get established, and that's why the action occurred. In action, in that action, two guys are responsible. One is a mode having eligibility, and other guy is a deluding state doer. So both combined together, there is a that particular samay, that particular time. On the fifth samay, for example, we are seeing the anger expressed. That reaction lasts for one samay only. Thereafter, this fruition of old karma lasts for one samay, and then they get disintegrated. They get separated from the soul substance. So now they are gone. This mode also lasts for one samay, so that this mode goes back into the soul, and now it goes into the soul as parinamic bhav, and it remains there forever with this eligibility mark. So this is so when when we are seeing one express mode, means two reactions occur. One is eligible for that, and one is a doer for that, and combined together for that one samay, reaction occurred, and that mode was expressed. Looking at this pictorial form, we are looking at the picture of the fountain. What happens in the fountain? That first, this water in the pond has an eligibility that at particular time it is supposed to be colorful state. That particular time is supposed to be in the red, blue, purple, green color. Now, at that time, the lights are acting as an instrumental cause. The lights are on for 24/7, for example, and there is nothing seen. But when the water comes out, the water and the eligibility comes out, and the light acting as a simply instrumental cause at the time, and now we are seeing that particular moment, purple color, red color, blue color, green color, different color we are seeing in that water. And after that thing, and this lasts for one samay only, this colored water lasts for one samay only, and thereafter, after one samay, water goes back to pond with its own eligibility, colorless water state. So these are the things. I see an action having colored water. That's it. Now that action was present in the water to be in the colored form for that particular time, and light was supposed to be acting as the instrumental cause. So here the water is eligibility of the water, and the light acts as a doer of that colorful water. So he's been accused. He's an instrumental cause but accused. So accusation goes on the light as a doer, and the water is having the eligibility of the mode. So that's why we are seeing the colored water. Now here, so that same thing here. Water has eligibility to be in the deluding state at the time in the form of a colored water. And the colored light acts as in the form of instrumental cause, means they are the doer of the diluting state. And that's why this relationship lasts for one samay only. And after that, water goes back in the pond. After that, mode goes back into the soul with his mark of eligibility. That's it. So this pond water has a infinite modes present with its own eligibility, and only particular time it will arise, and at that time there is going to be instrumental cause in the form of lights, and that's why we see the colored lights. So colored lights in a fountain can be dissected in these two ways. Now, having said that, now, so last slide, what it says, last slide of the same thing, water has diluting state eligibility for that particular samay. Water, a soul has a diluting state eligibility. Now, fruition of karma acts as instrumental cause to be the diluting state doer. This is false accusation. So it's from the conventional point of view. This accusation is given. Just like the water is a reason for fish to swim. Same way here, fruition of karma is a reason for diluting state eligible mode to get expressed. This relationship lasts for one samay. For an act, the instrumental cause present is important, but does not take part in the action of the affluent cause. Affluent cause means primary cause. In the primary cause, which is called upadan karan, the action occurs there, but the instrumental cause simply acts there to be present. So that's where we are saying. Now, having known, we have dissected a given mode in two different ways. One is eligibility and one is a doer. And now on that basis, we are going to analyze 9 reals present in the soul substance. In the beginning of the 13th stanza, we already had said how this 9 real means they are in the soul. For example, the auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, yes, they occur in the soul, I understand. Inflow occurs in the soul. Bondage occurs in the soul. Stoppage occurs in the soul. Shading occurs in the soul. Liberation occurs in the soul. I can understand, but living and non-living, first two tattva, first two reals, how can we decide? How can we put them in the soul? So what we had talked at the time, we said that 9 tattva means soul, living, non-living, auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, bondage, inflow, bondage, stoppage, shading, liberation. These 9 guys are called 9 tattva. And what are those 9 tattva? So first one, the word tattva counts. We made it in a simple form. We just said that it's a real or elements. But exactly what is the tattva word means? We should understand that one, because if somebody tells you what are the 6 substances, you can just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are the 9 reals? You can give the name. But what does real mean? What does element mean? What does tattva mean? So that means we are going to look at the word tattva. Tattva means it's a word coming from Sanskrit. So bear with me for a few Sanskrit words, but I'll also have the bullets coming with the English also. Tattva means tat plus tvam. Tattva word has a two words inside. Tat plus tvam. See, if you have any idea about Sanskrit, Sanskrit is a very, very, very rich language, and every word has a meaning, and every word is derived from certain things, and those are the things that we have to understand. If we understand those kind of things, then life becomes beautiful. That what that word tattva comes from. So if I understand what the word tattva means, then I can understand lots of things. So tattva means tat plus tvam. Word tat means vah. Means tat means vah. Tvam means twa means wala. Means जिसको जो सो तत्व मानना, जिसका जो सो तत्व मानना, जिसका स्वरूप सो तत्व मानना. पदार्थ के भाव को तत्व कहते हैं. Now these are all English Sanskrit words. Means tattva has a two words, tattva, tat plus tvam, and it means nature of a thing is known as tattva. Nature of a thing is known as tattva. Now, what does it mean? I am the sole substance. Well, what's my nature? How do I differ from this matter substance? How can I differ from this matter substance? So, nature of a thing. What is my nature? I have a knowledge. I have a perception. I have a faith. I have a conduct. I have a bliss attribute. And because of those attributes, I am known as a soul. So my nature thing over here, instead of thing, we can put the soul. Nature of the soul is known as tattva, for example. So what's the nature of the soul? Soul has an infinite nature present within. And for some of the few things are knowledge, perception, bliss, conduct, those kind of attributes, or the modes. The knowing mode, the consciousness mode, and the bliss mode. And those are the nature of the soul. So that means, if we just dissect this word, for word nature means the substance having its own attributes and mode. Substance having its own peculiar, particular attributes and mode, that is called tattva. पदार्थ के भाव को तत्व कहते हैं. So the nature of a thing is known as tattva. So soul has a attribute, soul has a mode, and those attributes and modes are called tattva. So for our understanding, word tattva comes, means it's not the soul substance we are talking, it's a modes and the attributes we are talking. When we are talking 9 tattva, when we are talking 9 elements, means 9 modes present in the soul. Specific form of 9 modes present in the soul, by which the soul can be defined. And that is called tattva. So now it becomes clear. It's so routine word, but we don't understand. We know 9 tattva means we'll just give the 9 names right away. But what that thing is, that means it's a nature of a thing. Nature means it's a modes of the soul is known as a tattva over here. Furthermore, tat शब्द पदार्थ को बताता है और त्वम शब्द उसके भाव को बताता है. Tat, word tat means substance, and tvam means it's properties. So soul's property or the padarth ke bhav, that means it is called tattva. Soul's property is known as soul's tattva. Now, so word tat shows substance and word tvam shows its characteristics or attributes or modes. So now the whole word means substance having its own attribute and modes. Those attributes and modes are called tattva. Soul's attributes and modes are called tattva. And so that's what we are talking right now. अकेले पदार्थ के श्रद्धान को सम्यक दर्शन नहीं कहते. Now this is very important point is coming over here. If I believe only the soul substance, for example, see over here, Tat means substance and word means. So if I just believe only substance only, then it does not call samyak darshan. It's not called right faith. If I just have a faith only on the eternal soul substance only, then it's not called right faith. Now, अकेले पदार्थ के भाव को भी सम्यक दर्शन नहीं कहते. Means, if I have just understood the attributes and modes only and not the substance, then also it's not called right faith. Right faith means I have to understand the substance and its characteristics, attributes, and modes, everything combined together. That's called right faith. पदार्थ और उनके भाव दोनों को मिलाकर श्रद्धान किया तो उसे सम्यक दर्शन कहते हैं. Means I separated myself from this matter substance. This is matter substance. And why I am here? Because I am the soul substance. What does soul substance means? It is an infinite attribute. What does attribute means? They have their own modes every samay coming up. And so when I know that one, then I put a faith. That's what it's called as a right faith. Now, for the one to have right faith, one has to have faith in its substances as well as attributes and modes. For example, we can dissect this one a little bit more, but we don't want to create confusion in our mind. Mainly, word tattva is more important for us to know right now. Tattva means a substance having attributes and modes. That's called attribute and modes are called tattva. But that's it. So let's keep that one. And so now here, so what are those 9 reals quickly? Living, non-living, auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, inflow, bondage, stoppage, sharing, and liberation. These are the 9 reals. Means they are the attributes and modes of a substance, soul substance. Now, here, living, when I say, means mode. Mode of the living is called living. Mode of the soul is called living. But what about the non-living? Non-living has to be mode of the soul also. And here we say non-living. What does that mean? See, I mean, we always talk 9 reals, fat, even in a deep sleep, somebody wakes up, wake me up, I can give all the 9 names. But did I ever think about that non-living? If it is a tattva and it belongs to the soul, then it has to be soul's mode. Non-living is not a soul's mode. Then how can I say non-living is a soul's mode? When the soul over here is having the mode which knows the non-living substances. So this phone is there, I end up knowing. This book is there, I end up knowing. This actual hard drive is there, I end up knowing. Means mode occurring within me about the non-living substances, that is called non-living mode of the soul. So that is important point we have to understand, we have to keep in mind. Auspicious inclination, it occurs in the soul, inauspicious in the soul, inflow, soul, all, but this was important. Now we are going to dissect each and every 9 reals one at a time from those 2 perspectives, the eligibility and the doer. So now, soul's mode, karma fruition, and element means tattva. So what happens? In the soul's mode, psychic inauspiciousness means bhav pap. Now, again, what is that thing? Until now, we are saying inauspicious inclination, and now suddenly we are throwing a word called psychic inauspiciousness, means bhav pap. What is that bhav pap means? What is the bhav pap word means? Means the inclination, inauspicious inclination occurring within me as a soul substance. I am the soul substance, and in me right now, anger, deceit, greed, ego, likes, dislike, all those things are occurring within me as a soul substance. And that's called, it is called the inauspiciousness occurring within me, and that means it's psychic inauspiciousness. Means it is occurring within me, or the other words called bhav pap. Bhav means that inclination occurs within me as a soul. That's why it's called bhav pap. This word will keep on coming. Bhav pap, bhav punya, bhav asra, bhav ban, bhav samvar, bhav nidra, bhav moksha. Means all the 7 elements occurring into the soul in its own capacity. That's why it's called bhav word will be used, or it will be psychic. Psychic inauspiciousness, psychic auspiciousness, psychic inflow, psychic bondage, psychic stoppage, psychic shading, psychic liberation. So those names will be coming. We should get familiarized with those names, because when we read this, when we are listening to the lecture, somebody is giving a lecture in Gujarati or Hindi, and he or she is going to use the word bhav pap. We should know, understand, bhav pap means inclination of inauspiciousness occurring within me as a soul. When that thing happens, means this was soul's mode, means it was eligibility of that soul's mode, so it occurred as an eligibility over here. What happens in the karma fruition? Karma fruition says material inauspiciousness. Remember the previous slide we had it, in which the eligibility to the mode is occurring here, and fruition of karma is occurring over here. So fruition of karma fruition means it's a material object, and a material object in the form of inauspicious material karma arising. Means the material karma arising, and those material karma gives me situation for inauspicious situation, so that I will end up doing inauspicious activity. They just give me their instrumental cause. They just gave me the situation. To be or not to be is my job. But since time infinite, material inauspicious karma comes in fruition, and I go in inauspicious inclination, which is called bhav pap. So bhav pap occurs in the soul's mode, and dravya pap occurs in the karma fruition. If we go through the story of Parsnath Bhagwan, Monk Parsnath is in a meditative state, and at that time Kamat, his enemy since previous lives, he was the demon, and he said, "Oh, this Pars Muni is over here. Let me make his life miserable. I'll take the revenge what he did to me." So now he throws torrential rain, and this monk Parsnath is in a deep meditative posture. He has no clue what is happening to the body. He is engrossed in his own soul's nature. He is having the blissful state, and he doesn't know what's happening. So that torrential rain become material inauspiciousness, means the situation occurred. What will I do? I will start run away. I'll become angry. I'll just react to that situation. So when dravya pap arises, I end up doing bhav pap. This is happening since time infinite within us. Bhav pap arising, dravya pap arises. Bhav pap is its own situation. It's occurring because of its own. Dravya pap occurs because of its own, and this is known as inauspicious element. This is called pap tattva. Bhav pap plus dravya pap combined together is called Pap Tattva. Psychic inauspiciousness means inauspicious inclination occurring in the soul. Material karma fruition in the form of inauspiciousness means they are giving the situation of inauspicious activity for me to perform. They create the situation, and combined together is called inauspicious element, means Pap Tattva. Now, it's called Bhav Pap, Dravya Pap, and Pap Tattva. Right? Okay. Now, souls creating inauspicious mode due to self only. This Bhav Pap or psychic inauspiciousness occurred in the soul due to the soul itself, because it was supposed to happen that way. So soul end up making that mode. What happens in the karma at the same time? Karma creating mode due to self only. So both guys are independent. This guy is having eligibility, and this guy is a doer. So eligibility and doer combined together, they end up making the things. So soul being principal cause, karma being auxiliary cause. Principal auxiliary relationship exists, which exists for one samay only. One samay, one moment. So this reaction lasts only for one moment. That's it. Now, further going down, inauspiciousness in the mode of the soul, known as mode's eligibility occurring state. It was a mode's eligibility to occur in that state. It was a soul created, the soul has that mode, and inauspicious eligibility was there, and it got generated at the particular point, and that is the eligibility. Then here, this karma fruition, when they occurred, they have been accused. They are accused. Accused means from the conventional point of view, they have been told, they have been said to be the doer of the act. Why they are called doer of the act? Because this guy was present, the mode was present with the eligibility in the soul since time infinite, independently. One second, I need to see some word, so just bear with me 1 second. I'm looking for the word, it's not coming to my mind, so I just need to check quickly. Just give me 1 second, please. Okay, so this mode was sitting in my soul since time infinite, and it was non-relativity. What's the word? Non-relativistic, means without any reference, means it was independent, without any expectation. It was non-relativistic. There was no relationship with anybody else. It was simply present, simply there, independently, with its own eligibility. It was sitting there. But when it just got generated, when the particular time for this modes arising comes, at that time, now this mode has relationship with the fruition of inauspicious karma. This is the relative statement occurred, because now it has looked at the fruition of karma. Until now, it was sitting without any expectation from anybody. After this samay, it will go back into the soul without any expectation from anybody else. But at this particular time of this mode's generation, that mode generation has shown the relationship with the fruition of karma. So it's called sapex. Until now, it was nirapex. Afterwards, it is nirapeks. Nirapeks means no relationship with anybody else, no relativistic relationship. But right now, there is relativistic relationship occurs. And so this guy is called doer of an act. This guy is called eligibility of that mode. So bhav pap or psychic inauspiciousness is called eligibility, and dravya pap or material inauspiciousness is called doer of an act. And combined together, action occurred in the form of violence, lying, possessiveness, etc. state. Just because there was a presence of a fruition of karma, that's why we are seeing violence, lying, and possessiveness state, etc. But if this fruition of karma is not present, then this mode will just be sitting in the soul as a dormant state, non-relativistic state, and it is called its own innate state of the mode. And then there is no violence, lying, or non-possessiveness, nothing, nothing happens. Only in the express state, only the relativistic state, only in the sapek state, one will be able to see violence, lying, possessiveness, all kind of things. Now,
okay, Kirit uncle, I missed something.
Yeah.
So in this chart, it says soul being the principal cause and karma being the auxiliary cause. So soul is never a cause. Like, is eligibility is there.
It's there, yes.
So the eligibility is the cause?
No.
Or the
eligibility becomes principal cause.
The eligibility became the principal cause when the mode happened.
Yeah, when the mode gets generated, see, let's say 10 modes, total 10 modes. So they are sitting in the soul, they are not doing anything, they are inactive, nothing is happening. Now, number one mode came, second mode came, third came, fourth came, but until that time, fifth number mode was remaining silently in a dormancy without any expectation, without any relationship with anybody else, and it remains there independently hidden into the soul substance. Only when the fifth time comes, it arises. When it arises, then this fruition of karma acts as instrumental cause, and combined together, we are seeing violence, lying, possessiveness, likes and dislikes, and all the things. Anger,
but the soul being a principal cause is that the soul doesn't have a cause. The soul is observed. I don't know. I'm missing something.
Yes, you are right. So when we say soul here means soul's mode. Now.
Okay, the soul. Then I got it. No. Soul's mode is the principal cause. Then I got it.
Now, yeah, and I think you raised very valid question that the soul can be described two different ways. That again, it is our responsibility to understand from what angle Acharya Bhagwan wants us to know about the soul. For example, my house is a richest house on the street, for example, let's say. So my house is richest house on the street. So other houses are average, all the rest of the houses are average. My house is richest. But wait a second. The other house also has a bricks and mortar and the woods. Your house also has brick, mortar, and wood. So what makes your house so special? Because in that house there is one hidden underground vault in which there is tons and tons of material is there. Gold is there, silver is there, money is there, all those things are there. That's the reason that because of that underground vault having so much money and value inside, that's why the whole house is called rich house. Actually, the house is made of bricks and mortar and woods only, just like the other house. But importance occur because there is something hidden there. Similarly, when we say soul, when we say soul as a substance, when we say soul, and I just take soul, six universal substances, and this is soul. When I say this is matter, then there is medium motion, medium rest, space and time, and this is soul. This soul means, the soul having substance, attribute and mode, everything combined together. It is called Pramanu Dravya. Praman means organ of knowledge or complete knowledge, comprehensive knowledge. Means this soul is, I'm knowing it comprehensively, that I know the soul as a substance, soul as an attribute, soul as a mode, and combined together, it's called comprehensive knowing of the soul. It is called Pramanu Dravya. Praman Sabda will be there. Praman means the complete or total knowledge about the soul. Just like my house is richest on the street because my house is on the hill, my house has a good colors and everything is there, and plus there is also hidden jewelry inside. So combined together, that house has become very valuable. Combined together. Now, when I enter into that house, what happens now? Now, the comparison with the other houses is gone. Now, I'm into the house. Why is this house so important? Because there is that underground vault, and so the thief coming will not go in the kitchen, will not go in bedroom, will not go in any other room, will not go in TV room. He will go exactly to that hidden treasure, because of, due to which that house was called rich house. Similarly, in the soul substance, when I'm knowing the soul substance from all different substances of the universe, then I know soul from comprehensive point of view. From comprehensive point means that soul having attributes, that soul having mode, that soul having all these things, and that's why that soul is separate from other substances. But now when I enter into the soul substance, what is most important, what is most valuable in the soul? The eternal soul substance is important. So when I talk from soul from knowledge perspective, comprehensive perspective, that's called comprehensive perspective. Soul as a substance means it includes soul, attributes, modes, everything combined together. But when I'm into the soul substance, and now I just say eternal soul substance is most important. That is from the faith perspective. When I'm entering into the soul substance, I make attributes secondary, I make mode secondary, I go to the eternal soul substance, bring my attention there, and that is my achievement. Just like the thief went for that underground vault, here, this is my vault, is a soul substance, eternal soul substance. So, soul can be prescribed from two ways, from comprehensive perspective or from substantial perspective, or eternal soul's perspective. So here, when we say that soul is doing this, soul is doing that, means soul with its own mode. So actually the action occurs in the mode. So that's what we write down, soul's mode over here. We did not write soul substance over here. So soul's mode has that eligibility occurring in that particular state. So now we are talking from the modal perspective, one narrow perspective. At that time, what is happening to the karma? The fruition of old karma comes up and it acts as an instrumental cause, and they have been labeled as doer of the act. These guys are called eligibility state, and this is doer state. So eligibility state, doer state combined together, we see the violence, lying, possessiveness, anger, deceit, ego, greed, likes, dislike, etc. states. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
Because
Thank
remember,
you.
if we understand this slide, this table, everybody will follow the same way now. All the 9 reals will follow same way, basically. 9 elements will follow same way. So it's important we understand exactly what Gurudev wants us to understand. What does Amritchandra Acharya Dev wants us to understand? He says that action occurred is called tattva, is called pap tattva, or inauspicious element. That's it. But that is divided into 2 parts. It's divided into bhav pap and dravya pap. Psychic inauspiciousness, material inauspiciousness. Psychic inauspiciousness is his eligibility state, and material inauspiciousness is his doer of the act state. So one thing, inauspicious element word is divided into these 2 major categories, one from the soul's perspective, one from the karma fruition perspective. So pap vikar thava yogya. Soul's mode is called pap vikar thava yogya. And a pap vikar karna is a karma fruition, and combined together is called pap tattva. So this is basically same as this 4th bullet, this bullet basically, understand? I just wrote the Gujarati words. So this is very important that we understand this way. So first thing now, when I'm talking inauspicious element, I just say pap tattva. Just tomorrow the child goes to the patshala. On the Sunday he goes to patshala, and teacher says, give us the name of 9 tattva. He stands up and says, Jeev, Ajeev, Pap, Punya, Asra, Ban, Samvar, Nijra, Moksha. What is Pap tattva means? Then the intelligent kid will say, Pap tattva has 2 parts involved. One is a Pap vikarthava yogya atmani paryay, and a Pap vikar karna pudgal dravyani paryay. બંનેને ભેગા થાય છે અને એ પાપ તત્વને એને કહેવામાં આવે છે. That means he is going to dissect that word, that inauspicious element. He will say there is an eligibility of that soul's mode to be in that form, and at the same time fruition of karma occurring in that form. And that's why there is going to be inauspicious element in the form of violence, lying, possessiveness, anger, deceit, ego, greed, etc., etc. state. Any question? This is very, once we understand, rest of the thing is very easy, but make sure you understand, and if there's question, we will stop over here, we'll analyze that one again. So please speak up. Does make sense to everybody right now?
This could work with 5 tattvas, right? This can't, or this could work with 4 tattvas. This could work with Ajeev. This could work, well, if you look at Ajeev, then you have the first 2 columns. But if you look at somewhere Nirja, Band, you can have this. But I don't know how Moksha Tattva, how can you have this separate?
I knew you are going to ask that question. That's why I stopped over here. I knew that, because it's a thought process. It's very important. And remember last class or class before, what did we say here? This guy is an instrumental cause, right? Fruition of karma is called instrumental cause, or karma. Let's put it that way. Take word fruition out. Karma acting as a instrumental cause. Now, that karma's presence or karma's absence both can act as an instrumental cause. Karma's presence or karma's absence both are acting as an instrumental cause. So, for example, moksha. We are jumping to the moksha right now. Don't worry about it. Yes, it's in a moksha. Let's take that one mode. One mode pure mode arising, soul's pure mode arising. It means pure mode thava yogya, means eligibility of that mode to be in the pure state. Who is the instrumental cause? Absence of fruition of karma is the instrumental cause. Presence or absence, both the things, both are acting as an instrumental cause. Sadbhav Rup Nimit and Abhav Rup Nimit, those are the words coming in the literature. Means presence of the presence of fruition or absence of fruition, both act as instrumental cause. And that's why in Siddha Bhagwan also there is Nimit Nimitik Sambandh present in the mode each time. Absence of karma fruition acts as an instrumental cause for that particular mode. Does it answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah. So I see that's what I said, that if we understand this slide, suddenly the thought process came. Wait a second, this is going to be true only for 4 elements. Because
so Kiran, if you have Kela Gyan, then you have no Gyan Auran Karma.
But yeah.
Okay. So you have actually forget about Gyan Auran. You don't even have Sanjulan. So you're Vitrag, you have no karma.
Yeah.
You have no Bhav karma.
Yeah.
So then that the Bhav karma abhav
that
is a nimit for Kevagyan.
Yes. No. Bhav karma abhav nahi. Dravya karma abhav. Bhav karma is over here.
Sorry, Dravya karma abhav is a nimit for Kevagyan.
Yes. Because remember, Keval Gyan for one samay only, and for that one samay action to occur, you have to have the instrumental cause, and that instrumental cause is in the form of absence of fruition of karma.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why it's this question, when you think about it, that when Keli Bhagwan, when he gave us the discourses, and Acharya Bhagwan wrote down the scripture and everything, and now from the Acharya Bhagwan, from Kunkuna Acharya Dev, he simply wrote down the stanza, and Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev took all this juice out from these 2 lines only of the stanza. Can you imagine that their sharpness of the knowledge, how sharpest of the knowledge they had it? Because of them, we understand this part. Otherwise, we will just say, wait a second, it doesn't make sense over here, and this is not right. But no, every question is being answered because there is a logic, and when there is logic, then there is an answer is given in that form. Okay. So any other question? It is very good. I'm glad. I was thinking that somebody will come out with this question, and you came out, and I'm very happy about it.
Does that mean that a sadbhav nimit is as important as an abhav nimit?
But both are sadbhav. This is called sadbhav.
But my question is, are both kinds of nimit important? Sadbhav nimit and abhav nimit?
Yes.
All right, so then let's say that let's say I'm Mithya Drashti Jeev and I have no ruchi.
Mm-hmm.
A certain segment of people will say that that's a Jinvani no abhav. Another segment of people is going to say it's a Sadguru no abhav.
Uh-huh.
Another set of people is going to say it's some sort of Kal Chakra abhav. Say I'm in the 6th hour or something.
Yeah.
Another person will say it's an abhav Purusharth.
Yes.
So they're all right then, right? They're all correct.
Now, you are right, but remember, which is the closest one? Which is the closest one? The closest one with the soul's mode is a fruition of the karma, is extremely close. Sadguru and Jinwani and everybody, they are Asadbhut Upcharit Nyay. This is Sadbhut. It is present right in front of the soul. At the time of the soul's mode, the fruition occurs. So that is exactly so close. So several nimit can be present, several instrumental cause could be present, but which is the closest one? Which is more? That is more.
This table, the first column you can say is Sadbhut Upcharit and Anupcharit Vyavahane. The middle column will be Asadbhut Upcharit, and then the right column will be Asadbhut Anupcharit.
Wait. This one, this column you are just saying?
It's all Sadbut. It's all Sadbut.
Sadbut, because it's there, yes?
Correct. And the middle one is Asadbut Upcharit.
Well, Asadbut Upcharit, no, we can just say Sadbut Upcharit. This is, we can just say Sadbut Upcharit also, or we can say Asadbut Anupcharit also. Asadbut Anupcharit, because they are extreme close. Remember, extreme.
So then if the middle column is Asadbut Anupcharit, then the right column should be Asadbut Upcharit.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Or am I wrong?
No. The first one is
I got the first one. I'm talking about the second and third columns. The second column is very close to us, but it's not in the soul. The third column is far away from us. It's the actual karya, or the actual thing.
No, but remember, these two are making the action. So combined together, this guy was generated. This guy was generated. So it's a mixture of the two things over here. So if you want to say mixture of two things from that perspective, it is called conventional point of view, or it is called the Vyavarnai. But it's a real thing. It is occurring. It is present, But right now, remember, with whom are you comparing? These two guys you are comparing with the soul substance and with the matter substance. So you are comparing. With these guys are independent. There is no things present to compare to.
Okay.
If you say Pap Tattva and Punya Tattva, we bring both, then there is a comparison. Nai is always in the comparative state. So these two, Bhav Pap versus Dravya Pap. So those things, when combined together, is been accused as a Pap Tattva. It's called combined together, it's called Pap Tattva. But there is no comparison with anybody else. So that's why Nai will not be coming over here. Nai for these two guys are there. Because there's a soul's mode, and karma fruition's mode. So two modes we are comparing over here. And this is the generation, the name given to the action. So we will not be able to give any tattva name over here. I mean, any nai name over here.
Okay, so just to make this clear in my own mind, the left column is Sadbud because it's in the soul.
It's the soul.
The middle column is Asadbud because it's outside of the soul.
Yes.
And we are calling it Anupcharit because it's close enough.
Close enough. Yes.
Okay.
And this is called Sadbut. You can just say Sadbut Upcharit, this one.
Yeah.
Because it is not, we are not talking the soul's knowledge mode, we are talking soul's the impure mode, which lasts only one samay and it's going to go away. So that's why it's a Upcharit, because it's going to go away. So Sadbut Upcharit, Asadbut Anupcharit. For the karma fruition side. But remember, and again, this is very important. You see, this kind of exercise occurring in the mind is very important because it makes our knowledge become sharper. And so, even if you can take this kind of things out, Upcharit, Anupcharit, Sadbut, Asadbut, from this kind of a table, maybe I should just add those two things over here at the end. That will make sense, because it just says that we are digesting what we understand, and we are trying to compare also. So Noi always will be in the form of comparison between two things. Now, for example, let's take a Pap Tattva and Punya Tattva. Let's compare Pap Tattva and Punya Tattva. What do you want to call them? Both, let's say that there are two things present, and I want to compare Pap Tattva versus Punya Tattva. How can I make them in the form of Nai? Basically, Punya Tattva is nearer to myself, and Pap is really to be discarded. Hey, Upade, and Hey, Ne, Upade. So Punya Tattva is a little bit nearer to me. Pap is to be taken out, but both are also ultimately to be taken out. That's why they are Asadbut. They both can be called Upcharit, Anupcharit, whatever way you would like to call them. but we can just do that. But they both combined together, we can just say that they are the conventional point of view, and it's a asatput. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, other people, don't worry about it. If we just got confused in this one, don't worry about it. If you don't understand, that's why, that's okay, you know, because we are not talking night chapter right now. We are on this ninth tattva chapter, so we will stick to that one. But as question came, and it's a valid question came, and it's a very thought-provoking question came, because remember, it's not the didactic, we just keep on going, and here we are also using our brain, and that is very important. We are using analytical situation, and that is very important. It shows our deepness of our knowledge. Any other questions? If not, we can go to the next one, right? Okay. Now, once we understand this part, basically all the slides are going to be almost identical, you know, so that way we will be able to go somewhat easier. Let's see, let me bring this guy down. Okay. Now we are talking another one, soul's mode, karma fruition, and element. Now here we are saying psychic auspiciousness, bhav punya. Psychic auspicious means auspicious inclination occurring within me. Because it's occurring within me, that's the word psychic. Versus, this is called material. Psychic versus material. Material means material karma. So material auspicious karma fruition. Material auspicious karma fruition. For example, I bought a lottery ticket and I have $1 million jackpot that I got it. So material auspicious karma fruition came. What can make me? It may make me happy. So it make me happy means a bhav punya. So this is called dravya punya. And combined together is called auspicious element. Now, thereafter, this is called bhav punya. It is called dravya punya, and it's called punya tattva. Here, souls creating auspicious mode. I'm sorry, this is, I was carried away so much that I forgot to take this word out. So souls creating auspicious mode due to self only, and karma creating mode due to self only, and soul being principal cause, karma being auxiliary cause. Principal auxiliary cause relationship gets established. Then again here, auspiciousness in the mode of the soul's mode as mode's eligibility occurring state. This auspiciousness mode of the soul is eligibility occurring in that particular time, and at the time fruitions of the auspicious karma in the form of instrumental cause known as doer of the act, and combined together there is non-violence, austerity, donation, compassion, etc. state getting generated. So Gujarati punya vikar thava yogya, punya vikar karna, and punya tattva. So basically it is the same as previous slide, except that over here there is an auspiciousness is occurring.
Kirit,
Yeah.
You said in Gujarati the punya vikar thava yogya.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
What is the difference between that statement and tat samayna yogyata?
That's a vikar thava yogya, tat samayna yogyata.
Same thing?
Yeah, the same word, the same thing. Vikar thava yogya or tat samay means at that particular mode. That if you're taking 10 modes and the fifth mode, fifth samay, that tat samay, fifth samay, vikar thava yogya means it was supposed to happen. So tat samayni yogyata or punya vikar thava yogya, both are same words.
Okay, thank you.
So here we have same thing happened, and I'm sorry about this typo, and I'll take care of it as soon as class is over. These two typos over here, it should be auspiciousness, both the places. You know. So this is the way we are just dividing the element called auspicious element into two forms. One is a psychic auspiciousness, other is called material auspiciousness. They both are independent. They both act as a principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. Means the soul's mode is called eligibility for that mode, and karma's mode is called doer of the mode, doer of the act. Remember, this doer of the act is being accused from conventional point of view. The karma, they don't do it. That light did not make the watercolor in the fountain to have the color. Water was supposed to happen that way, and light acted as an instrument. Same thing over here. So this is the second one. Now we are taking the third. How much is the time? We still have 10 minutes. Okay, so we can go 2 more. Okay, now auspicious element. Yes. Now inflow element, Astra Tattva. Now here is little the thing we have to understand. Astra and bondage, two things we have to understand very carefully. Let's first throw the slide completely, and then we'll just talk about it. Okay, now what is happening here? Soul's mode, psychic inflow. Psychic inflow means auspiciousness and inauspicious inclination is called psychic inflow or bhav ashram. At the time there is material inflow, means material karma in the auspiciousness or inauspicious material karma coming in the fruition.
You're gonna go psychic inflow, isn't that just rag?
Huh?
That first box, what you wrote there, psychic inflow, auspicious and inauspicious inclinations, isn't that just bhav? I'm sorry, isn't that just rag?
Rag, yeah.
Okay.
It's good. You can put rag dvesh, or you can, because we are using pap punya over here, that's why we put auspicious, inauspicious, or you can put rag dvesh also. Both you can put. Yes, you are right. You can put rag dvesh, or you can put auspicious, inauspicious inclination. They both means they are the deluding state of the soul. That's it.
Okay.
So psychic inflow, material inflow combined together, they are called inflow element. In Gujarati, it's called bhav ashrav, dravya ashrav, and completely it's called ashrav tattva. Now, soul's creating inclination of attachment, inclination of attachment mode by itself. Inflow occurred in the soul due to its own altered personal effort. This bhav ashrav, this psychic inflow occurred by the soul by its own altered personal effort. Nobody asked soul to do it. Soul by itself created that mode. And at the time, Karman particle changed to specific karma inflow mode by itself. So here what is happening? Two things are happening. This soul has an inclination of attachment, means a rag or dvesh, or pap or punya, means auspicious, inauspicious inclination. At that time, there is fruition karma is also there. Plus, there is also new karma coming towards the soul also. The Karman particle, generic Karman particle surrounding my soul, those particles at that particular moment were supposed to be in the form of auspicious or inauspicious material karma. So they change by themselves. They're changing by themselves. Over here, my psychic auspicious, inauspicious inclination is there. So what is happening here? Soul being principal cause, karma being auxiliary cause. So principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship gets established. So Astra Tattva means inflow element also has two parts, one from the soul's perspective, one from the karma perspective. So over here, we are giving different, so inflow state in the mode of the soul known as eligibility occurring mode, and inflow in the karma fruition acts as instrumental cause labeled as doer of the act. And so in auspicious, inauspicious state occurring due to principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. So basically, same as the two slides before, you are combined together, both of them combined together, what happens? So now, soul's mode, what did the soul's mode has it? its soul's mode has an inclination of attachment or rag, or it could be in the form of auspicious, inauspicious inclination, soul's mode. Soul has a mode. Let's use the word rag over here, auspicious, inauspicious inclination. Instead of that, we are using the word rag, which is same thing, or it's called inclination of attachment. So me as a soul generated state of rag because that rag was supposed to come. That's it. That's all it is. This rag was supposed to come. That's called inflow, psychic inflow. So psychic inflow means rag generating or auspicious, inauspicious inclination generation. Simply talking, and I'm putting that word little weight because next sentence will be coming, which will make sense. Psychic inflow means simply rising of the auspicious or inauspicious inclination, or simply rise of rag state, simply rise of inclination of attachment state. Simply, that is called ashrav, that's called inflow element from the soul's perspective. Once again, to clear the doubts. In the soul, rag is generating. I like this thing right now. I hate this thing right now. Those changes occurring in me is called inflow occurring within me, psychic inflow. Now, why I'm repeating those things again and again? Because there's going to be psychic bondage following that one. What is psychic bondage then? If the psychic inflow means inclination of attachment means rag getting generated. Rag getting generated is an inflow. Then psychic bondage means intensity of that inflow, intensity of that rag and dvesh. So that's why I'm trying to make clarity over here, because it is it's kind of a thing, sometimes it gives confusion. Psychic inflow means rag getting generated within me, period. Simply rag getting generated. Now, how intense is that rag? When I say rag, means rag and dvesh both. When I say inclination of attachment, means inclination of attachment and inclination of aversion, rag and dvesh both. So rag and dvesh arising within me is a psychic inflow. But what is the intensity of the rag and dvesh? That is called psychic bondage. For example, let's say, 10th anniversary of Jain Temple of Greater Phoenix is coming in July, and I would like to give some donation. So I have a auspicious inclination arising within me. What's the intensity of that auspicious inclination? Oh, I have to give as much as I can. No, I'll give some because other guy is giving less, so I'll give less. So my intensity is less. No, I would like to give as much as possible because who knows next occasion I may not be there, and that my intensity of the rag could be intense. That is called psychic bondage. Inclination of attachment, rag arising within me is a psychic inflow. But, one second, hello? No, for 5 minutes. But, so psychic inflow means rag occurring, psychic bondage is intensity of that rag. So that is important. That's all you have to do. That's all point I want to convey that over here. Rest of the things are same as before. But psychic inflow is a rag. Psychic bondage is an intensity of the rag. And You know what? If you just if you have read the chapter, or we may touch the chapter sometime. You remember those 6 colors given for the Lacia? Lacia is a coloration, quote unquote coloration to the inclinations state, means how intense is my rag or how intense is my dvesh. It's been divided into 6 different points. Just one quick example. I would like to, one mosquito touch me and it bothers me, keeps on bothering, just go away, go away. That kind of thing. I had the dvesh, means inclination of aversion occurring within me. But a black widow spider in my shoes bites me, and it gives me intense pain. And at the time, I say, this black widow, all species of black widow should be eradicated from the earth. That means I had the intense form of dvesh occurred. This mosquito, go away, go away. This milder form of dvesh. Everything, whole species should be eradicated. Intense form of dvesh. Rag, I'll give donation because you came and you asked me to write down donation. I wrote down donation. That's a milder form of inclination. But I would like to go out of my way and just say, I would like to give as much as I have and more. That is called intense form of rag, intense form of auspicious inclination. So intensity is called bondage, and the type is called inflow. So psychic inflow is auspicious, inauspicious inclination or rag dveshna bhav, and psychic bondage means intensity of that auspicious, inauspicious inclination or intensity of rag and dvesh. Does it make clear? If it's not clear, we can still go for it. Just tell me yes or no.
Keep going, Kirit. We're clear.
I got it. I got it.
Good. Okay. So that's only the thing. Take home point from here is to differentiate from psychic inflow to psychic bondage, because it's occurring within me now. What's happened to material inflow and material bondage then? Remember, we have to just describe those guys too, right? Material inflow means generic carbon particles surrounding me. Generic carbon particles are surrounding me, and those generic carbon particles are supposed to be transformed into some specific form of karma. So the generic carbon particle getting into specific form of karma is called material inflow. Generic carbon particle in specific karma form converting is called material inflow. But now that material inflow, when it comes to the soul, that karma decides how long they are going to stay, and when the fruition occurs, how intense fruition they are going to give. That kind of a stickiness occurring to the soul is called material bondage. It's got bonding with the soul, with that intensity, that how long I'm going to stay with you and what kind of fruition I'm going to give you when it comes in the fruition state. That is called material bondage. So material inflow is generic carbon particle becoming, for example, becoming like jnana varani karma, knowledge obscuring karma. That's it. But that knowledge obscuring karma, when it gets stuck to the soul, how long they are going to stay with the soul and what intensity that they'll give the fruition. That is called material bondage. So psychic inflow is a rise of rag and dvesh. Psychic bondage means intensity of the rag and dvesh. Material inflow means generic carbon particle getting converted to karma particle, and material bondage means how intensely they'll get stuck to the soul. So those are the two things that we have to understand from the inflow and bondage. So that means rest of the thing will remain the same way. that inflow mode was supposed to occur in its own birth time, and that karma side over here acts as a doer and combined together is called Astra Tattva, or it's called Bandha Tattva or Astra Tattva, depending on which way we are looking at it, right? If we have no question over here, or if you have any question, we entertain, and if not, then we can just do the closing. So tell me, any question?
Aren't we going to do one more?
You do one more? Well, there is someone in Nijara coming, so I just let's take it next time, because then we have to do the Abhav Rup Nimit,
Okay.
Basically same way, but in this it will be instead of Sadbhav, it will come Abhav over here, So
Right.
we'll finish those three things next week, Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Very good. We achieved quite a few things today. That's good. I'm glad. And that's good questions. Good questions. All right. Javani ke gyan se suje lo kalo, sovani mastakanamo sada detam hojo. 9 times. Jai Janandra.
Jai Jinendra. Bye-bye.
Chirag's in India, just in case you were wondering. Chirag's in India.
Yeah, he sent me the email, and I just saw it, and he met Rakesh Bhai also.